Hello friends, I'm Chintamani here again. Today we are going to look at move command in Linux or Unix. Earlier we had seen how to copy files, so today we'll see how to move the files. Uh, the command for move is mv. So mv accepts minimum two arguments along with it. It can have more than two also. So we'll see most frequently used commands in this. Let's look at how many files here, or else we'll create few files. So let's create one file. We already have few, but still. So let's create f1 is not there. So let's create f1. This is okay. This is a file. And so we have f1 now, then there is f2, then there is f3. dir2 is also there, but it is a file. Then dir1 is there, which is a directory. So let's look at the simplest of the mv command. We'll do ls. So we'll say move f1 as f4, as simple as that. So what it is doing is it's actually moving f1 to f4. Now here what is going to happen is this mv, which is a first argument, will get moved to f4. Now move in simple sense, it moves from its current place to other place, but we are not given a directory. So f1 would actually get renamed as f4. So it got moved, f1 got moved as f4. So if we see the ls command now, earlier it was showing 5, that is one directory and 4 files. Now it is showing the same. Only thing is f1 has been renamed as f4. So here mv, that is move, is actually moving it with a new name. So moving it with a new name means actually it is renaming. So mv is acting as rename. If you see the notepad session on the left hand side, this is acting like a rename. Now move normally would be moving from one directory to another. A file, you move it to another directory. So let's see the syntax. There is currently only one directory, dir1. So let's say mv. Let's move f2 to dir1. So dir1 might be having a few files. Now what we have done is we have moved f2 to dir2. If we see the ls again, earlier the ls command was showing me five things, four files, one directory. Now it is showing one directory and three files, because the f2 has got moved into a different directory, which is dir1. So let's do a ls of dir1. It will show you three now. Earlier there were two files. Now f2 has been moved from this directory, that is current directory. So if you say pwd, so current directory is /home/cmoney, it got moved from there to a different directory, which is dir1. So it got moved. So the this is the way how the first one works. On the notepad session, you can see on the left hand side it says mv and then source file, and it moves to a directory. So this is important thing here. It moves a file to a directory. I have marked it on the notepad session. So it moves file to a directory. Whereas if the next second parameter, if it is not there, which means if it is not a directory, then actually it is going to rename an existing file with a different name, that is whatever the second argument was. This is how mv works. So mv acts as a move as well as rename. You can move it to a different path also. Currently we are into our home, my home directory. So I am moving it inside the directories inside my home, but you can move it to /tmp, for example. /tmp anybody can write there, so you can try those commands. Okay, now we'll look at two or three important options. For example, right now we have three files here. So what I'll do is I'm going to do a mv of f3 to f4, but with say -n option. So what this is going to check is, this is going to check if f4 is already existing, then it will not overwrite, which means it will check first. Okay, so when I say this, it's not going to give any output, but it's actually not going to do anything because F4 is already there. MV minus n is rarely used from command line, but it can be used when you want to write some shell scripts and you want to move files, but don't want to display the error, or you don't want to move the file. That means rename the file if it is already existing, so that you don't want to take a risk to overwrite an existing file. So this is how you do move MV minus n. Then there is something like minus v. So let's try renaming, say, F4 as F5. What's going to happen is it's just going to show something on the screen saying that this F4 has been moved to F5. If you say less again, earlier the output was having F3 and F4 at the end. Now you can see F3 and F5. F4 is not there because F4 has been renamed to F5. That is how it works. Then there is one more option where you say interactively copy. So I'll say minus I F4 to dir, say 1. I suppose it is there. Okay, it's not there. Let's check. Okay, dir1 is there. Okay, F4 is not there. So if I say mv minus I and suppose I say F4, let's do it this time like this, dir1. Okay, so F, once again the same thing I had given. So let's change F3. So F3, so it got moved. So F4 is not here. It is there in DR1 now. DR1 is having 4. So let's go to DR1 and let's see. So now there are 4 files. Let's try doing mv minus I. In the previous directory, there is a file named f file. Let's try to do a move from F2. If you want to move this F2 to the previous directory, then you can simply say double dot and dot together. Okay, so let's try to do together, and let's try to do F5. So F5 is there in the previous directory, and hence what is happening is it is showing you MV override. So it is asking you because minus I is added. Minus I means interactive, which means it will ask if you want to if we want to overwrite. If I say yes, it will be overwritten. If I say no, it will not be overwritten. So I'll say yes here. So it's got overwritten. If you see here, this file is gone. F2 is gone from here. But if you try to ls or dot dot, which means listing of previous directory, then F5 is now here. Okay. So that's how the MV works with the I option. Earlier we had seen N option. Similarly, there is a verbose option which will show you what it is doing. So for example, if I say MV minus V, that's verbose, and then file 1 and say file say 3. So it is showing file 1 has been moved as file 3. Okay, then minus F option is used to do a force move. Now in MV, we have seen some simple commands, but we can actually give the full path name also. For example, right now I am into /home /cmoney/dir. So I can also say MV and then /home/cmoney/dir1, okay, and say all files. Okay, so I'm moving all these files, or say let's see, give one file for understanding. So file 3 to /tmp. Okay. So /tmp is a directory. This is a directory where any Unix user can write. So it has been now moved. If you see ls now, earlier file 3 was there. We had seen earlier. Now it is not there. So it has been moved there. Let's see ls minus tmp. It will give a full output. So let's say file star. If you see that I did not give a space bar, so let's give a space here. Okay, so it's showing if you see date, then it's 1511. Okay, this file was already there with some date timestamp, that is 149. So it got moved now to /tmp. So it's there in /tmp. So this is how you can move to different directories obviously you need to have sufficient permissions to move. Similarly, so this was using the absolute path. So here when you give the full path starting from the slash, okay, and then for the next argument also you give it starting from the slash. This type of referring is called as absolute reference. You can also do a relative reference. Say for example, if you have files here, now file 2 is here. So what I will do is I'll say cp file 2. By default, when I say file 2, which means it will try to pick up from the current directory. So I can also say dot dot and say again dot dot, then say again dot dot, which means it will go 3 steps back. So it will go to the root directory. So here, so I'll go up to the root and then say slash tmp. Okay. So when I do this, it's going to go uh, first dot dot means the previous directory, then the previous to previous, which means cmoney, then previous to previous to previous, which means home, and inside that again it will traverse on the front direction, go to tmp and cp it there. Similarly, you can do a mv also. Okay, we had seen cp in an earlier video. Similarly, the mv command works. So right now it is not mv, so you can see that file is here as well as in tmp. So you can give relative referencing or absolute referencing in such commands like cp or mv. Okay, so that's about it. Just to uh, take a recap of it, command works in two ways. If the destination, that is the second parameter, is a directory, it will move inside that directory. Otherwise, it will rename an existing file. Uh, that is how MV works. So MV works in two ways: move and rename. Okay. But if you have more than two parameters, what is going to happen? So let's see that also. Right now I have, let's see how many files I have. I have two files, file 2 and file 3. So let's create a directory inside dir1, one more directory, so dir11. Okay. So now I have two files, one with 0 bytes, one with 15 bytes, and one directory, which is dir1. So now if I say mv space f3 space file 2 space dir11, what is going to happen is it's going to check how many parameters are there. So if there are more than two parameters, it's mandatory that the last parameter needs to be a directory. So when I say mv space f3 space file 2, these two files will be picked up and they will be moved in dir11. If I say ls now, nothing is there, only directory is there. If I go inside that directory, then you will see that those files actually got moved here in dir11. So we have to remember mv command works in two ways. One is move and one is actually rename. So if both the parameters are files, then the second parameter, that's argument actually, it gets renamed. If the second parameter is a directory, it gets moved inside that directory. If there are more than two parameters, then the last parameter, that is third or fourth or whichever it is, say fifth, it should be a directory. So it will check whether it is a directory and then only perform the operation. Say for example, suppose I say mv space f3 space file 2 space say dir9. What's going to happen is it's going to check whether dir9, that is the target, is a directory or not in this current directory. It's not there. It will give an error. So this is how ME command works. I hope you have enjoyed this. So if you like it, just press the like button and also don't forget to subscribe so that you will get an information about the next video being posted here. Thank you very much and bye from Chintamani.